Picture this. You're standing at the kitchen counter, reaching for a glass, when suddenly your arm trembles. Your legs feel like they might give way, and you grip the edge just to steady yourself. To anyone else, it looks like a clumsy moment, but you feel the terrifying weakness deep inside your muscles. Some seniors describe it as if their strength vanished in an instant. Too often, this frightening event is written off as simple aging, or worse, as a precursor to a stroke. But in my years as a senior health neurologist, I've seen a different story unfold again and again, the silent collapse of muscle power that comes from one overlooked mineral, magnesium. You see, most people over 60 are unknowingly running on empty when it comes to magnesium. Unlike vitamins that store up in the body, magnesium drains quietly day after day. And the signs, night cramps, trembling, unsteady steps, are dismissed as normal aging. But they are not normal. They are your body's desperate signals that the fuel for muscle contraction and nerve stability is running dangerously low. Without magnesium, your muscles cannot relax properly after each contraction. Imagine flexing your fist and not being able to open it fully. That's what your leg muscles are enduring every night when you jolt awake from a painful cramp. Take Mrs. Henderson, age 72. A retired school teacher who came to see me after nearly collapsing in her garden. She told me, "Doctor, I thought I was just losing my balance with age, but I can barely lift my watering can without shaking." Her blood tests revealed critically low magnesium levels. Once we replenished her intake with the right foods and supplements, her energy returned. And so did her confidence in daily tasks. She looked at me weeks later and said, "I thought my independence was slipping away, but it was just this one missing piece." This is why magnesium is not just another nutrient on a list. It is the spark that keeps your muscles firing, your heart steady, and your nerves calm. Ignore it, and your strength can fade faster than you realize. Address it, and you may prevent the frightening cascade of falls, fractures, and hospital stays that rob too many seniors of their independence. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. And now let's begin this urgent journey into the overlooked role of magnesium. Because if the collapse of muscle power shook you, wait until you hear why seniors lose magnesium faster than anyone else. As the years pass, your body changes in ways that are both subtle and relentless. One of the least recognized changes is how your kidneys handle minerals. When you were younger, your kidneys worked efficiently to recycle and hold on to magnesium. But after 60, kidney function naturally declines, and one of the first casualties is magnesium balance. More of it slips away into your urine, leaving your muscles, bones, and nerves depleted. This is not just theory. It is a reality I see in my clinic over and over again. Seniors walk in with complaints of fatigue, unexplained weakness, or dizziness. They assume it's just aging. But the lab results show a clear pattern. Magnesium levels falling lower year after year, while other minerals like sodium and potassium remain fairly stable. This slow leak explains why even seniors who eat reasonably well still end up short on magnesium. Consider Mr. Raymond, age 68, a retired carpenter. He prided himself on staying active, still fixing things around his home, still walking every morning. But he told me, "Lately, my legs just don't have the same push. I tire out before I reach the corner." His blood work showed magnesium barely within the minimum range. More importantly, his kidney function markers revealed that his body was spilling magnesium faster than it could hold it. Once we adjusted his diet and emphasized magnesium-rich foods, like spinach and pumpkin seeds, his stamina slowly returned. Within months, he was back to his morning walks, this time making it not just to the corner, but around the entire block. Mainstream medicine often highlights the importance of calcium and vitamin D in aging, but magnesium quietly works alongside them. It stabilizes ATP, the molecule that powers every muscle movement. Without enough of it, your muscles fatigue rapidly, as if the energy switch is stuck in the off position. Worse still, the stress hormones that rise with age, especially in those who feel isolated or anxious, accelerate magnesium loss even more. Imagine pouring water into a bucket full of holes. No matter how much you try to fill it, it keeps leaking out. That is the reality of magnesium in aging kidneys. So the next time you brush off fatigue or weakness as just getting older, remember your body may be giving you a clear biochemical warning. Magnesium is not optional, it is critical. And if age alone makes you lose more of it, you cannot afford to ignore where your diet and habits might be making the leak even worse. And speaking of habits, the foods that many seniors rely on, the convenient, low-sodium packaged meals you might believe are good for your heart, can actually rob you of even more magnesium. That shocking truth is where we're headed next. Walk down any supermarket aisle, and you'll see them stacked high cans labeled low-sodium boxes, boasting heart-healthy frozen meals promising light and balanced. For seniors watching their blood pressure or cholesterol, these products look like the safe choice. But here's the hidden trap in stripping out salt and fat. Many of these foods also strip away essential minerals, especially magnesium. Worse yet, the additives and preservatives used to extend shelf life can interfere with how your body absorbs the magnesium you do consume. This is where the marketing deceives you. A frozen dinner or reduced sodium soup might keep your sodium numbers down on paper. But inside your body, it silently contributes to magnesium depletion. Add to that the refining process of white flour and polished rice, and what you're left with is food that fills your stomach, but leaves your muscles starved. It's a cruel irony in the effort to eat healthy by following labels. Many seniors are making themselves weaker. I remember Mrs. Patel, age 74, a grandmother who lived alone after her husband passed. She wanted to keep things simple, so she relied on microwave meals labeled low sodium to manage her blood pressure. She came to me saying, "Doctor, my legs just don't feel steady anymore." I nearly tripped getting out of bed. Her diet history revealed she was eating almost no natural magnesium-rich foods. The processed meals gave her calories and protein, but next to nothing in terms of magnesium. Within weeks of reintroducing whole grains, nuts, and leafy greens, her unsteadiness began to fade. She told me later, with relief in her voice, I didn't know weakness could come from the food I wasn't eating. The mainstream medical fact here is simple. As people age, nutrient density matters more than ever. Seniors require the same or greater amounts of vitamins and minerals as younger adults, but often eat less food overall. That means every bite must count. Yet processed health foods rob you of this chance by being calorie-heavy but micronutrient poor. The lesser-known truth is that certain preservatives, such as phosphates commonly added to packaged meats and baked goods, can compete with magnesium for absorption. So even if you think you're getting some magnesium from your food, your body may not be able to use it effectively. Think about it. Could your freezer or pantry be quietly sabotaging your muscles? This isn't just about flavor or convenience. It's about whether your legs can carry you confidently tomorrow. And if you think processed foods are the only concern, wait until you learn what your own nighttime cramps may be trying to tell you about magnesium's disappearance. It usually strikes in the quiet of the night. You're asleep, dreaming peacefully, when suddenly your calf seizes like a vice grip. The pain jolts you awake. You clutch your leg, unable to move, waiting desperately for the spasm to pass. Many seniors laugh it off the next morning, calling it a Charlie horse, or dismiss it as just old age. But let me be clear. Frequent nighttime cramps are not harmless quirks of aging. They are red flags, flashing warnings that your body is running low on magnesium. Here's the medical reality. Magnesium allows your muscles to both contract and relax. Without enough of it, the contraction signal dominates, leaving muscles locked in painful spasms. In younger years, your reserves are high enough that the body can buffer these imbalances. But after 60, with declining intake and greater loss through the kidneys, Your margin of safety vanishes. That's why cramps hit more often and more severely as you get older. Take Mr. Ellis, age 70, who came into my office one morning after a particularly brutal night. He said, "Doctor, my calf locked up so hard I thought I tore a muscle. I couldn't walk to the bathroom without limping." His wife added that he had been waking her up several nights a week with groans of pain. Blood work revealed magnesium well below the optimal range. Once he increased magnesium-rich foods and took a carefully measured supplement, the cramps faded within weeks. The transformation was so dramatic, he joked, "I finally get to sleep through the night, and so does my wife." Mainstream medicine acknowledges that cramps become more common with aging, but too often they're brushed aside with advice like stretch more or drink more water. While hydration and stretching help, they don't solve the underlying shortage. The lesser-known fact is that magnesium controls calcium's behavior inside your muscle cells. Calcium tells muscles to contract. Magnesium tells them to let go. Without enough magnesium, calcium floods the muscle unchecked, keeping it in a clenched state. That's why the pain feels like your muscle is being held hostage. Think about what this means for your independence. A single cramp may leave you limping the next day, avoiding stairs or skipping your morning walk. Over time, fear of these episodes can erode your confidence in your own body, and confidence is as critical as strength when it comes to preventing falls. So the next time you're jolted awake by a spasm, don't ignore it. Your body is crying out for help. The question is, will you answer before the cramps evolve into something even more dangerous like insulin resistance and diabetes? That's the next hidden link we need to explore. Most people think of diabetes as a blood sugar problem alone, but here's the truth. Magnesium plays a hidden, powerful role in how your body manages sugar. Without enough magnesium, your cells become less responsive to insulin. This condition, called insulin resistance, forces your pancreas to work harder, pumping out more insulin just to keep your blood sugar in check. Over time, this relentless strain can tip you into type 2 diabetes, a disease that robs seniors of independence, mobility, and vitality. Mainstream medicine widely recognizes insulin resistance as a precursor to diabetes, but the connection to magnesium is still too often overlooked. Studies have shown that people with chronically low magnesium are far more likely to develop diabetes, and those already living with diabetes often have magnesium deficiencies that worsen their condition. The cycle is vicious. Low magnesium raises blood sugar, and high blood sugar makes you lose even more magnesium through urine. For seniors, this is a double hit. One that accelerates fatigue, weakens muscles, and increases the risk of complications like neuropathy. Let me share the story of Mr. Gonzalez, age 67, a retired bus driver. He came to me worried about constant thirst and tingling in his feet. "Doctor," he said, "I'm scared this is diabetes." My brother lost his eyesight because of it. His tests confirmed early-stage type 2 diabetes. But what stood out was his magnesium level. It was far below the healthy range. We developed a plan, cutting back on refined carbs, adding magnesium-rich foods like almonds and black beans, and using a carefully monitored supplement. Within 6 months, his blood sugar improved, and the tingling in his feet eased. He looked at me one afternoon and said, "I thought I was headed down my brother's road. Now I feel like I've been given a second chance." The lesser-known truth is that magnesium activates enzymes that help your body use glucose efficiently. Without it, sugar lingers in your bloodstream, longer, spiking inflammation and damaging your vessels. For seniors already prone to vascular stiffness, this creates a dangerous storm that can harm not only muscles, but also the heart and brain. So if you're struggling with blood sugar swings or worried about diabetes, don't just focus on cutting sugar. Ask yourself, am I fueling my cells with the magnesium they need to respond properly to insulin? Ignoring this piece of the puzzle could mean the difference between managing your blood sugar and being managed by it. And as troubling as this link is, the danger doesn't stop with diabetes. Low magnesium can also throw your heart's rhythm into chaos, sometimes with no warning at all. That's the risk we'll uncover next. Your heart is not just a pump. It's an exquisitely timed electrical system. Every beat is a carefully coordinated surge of signals and muscle contractions. But here's the danger. Without magnesium, that system can fall out of rhythm. Magnesium acts as a natural stabilizer for your heart's electrical activity, preventing chaos in the way signals fire. When levels drop too low, arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats can appear suddenly, even in people who never had heart problems before. Mainstream medicine knows that arrhythmias become more common with age. Doctors often look for clogged arteries, high blood pressure, or scarring in the heart tissue. But what many overlook is how much magnesium deficiency contributes to the problem. A skipped beat here, a racing heart there. Seniors often dismiss these as nerves or just stress. Yet these palpitations may be the body's early warnings that the mineral keeping your heart steady is in short supply. Take the case of Mrs. Klein, age 73. She rushed to the emergency room after feeling her heart fluttering like a trapped bird. The test showed she had atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that raises the risk of stroke. Her cardiologist noticed her magnesium level was far below normal. After carefully replenishing it through diet and supplements, her rhythm stabilized enough that she could return to her daily walks without fear. She later told me, "I thought my heart was failing for good, but it was really starving for what it needed to stay calm." The lesser-known fact is that magnesium controls how calcium flows into heart cells. Calcium excites the muscle-triggering contraction, but magnesium ensures the system doesn't overfire. Without magnesium's braking power, the heart muscle may spasm or misfire, producing palpitations, skipped beats, or dangerous arrhythmias. Imagine a symphony orchestra, where every instrument plays at the wrong time. The music becomes chaos. That's exactly what happens inside the heart when magnesium is too low. For seniors, the stakes couldn't be higher. An irregular heartbeat can increase stroke risk fivefold. Combine that with weaker vessels and higher clotting tendencies in older age, and you have a recipe for sudden devastating events, all from something as basic and preventable as a mineral shortage. So when you feel your heart race without reason or notice skipped beats at night, don't brush them aside. Ask yourself, is this a magnesium warning? Because the same mineral that keeps your heart in rhythm is also essential for building strong bones. And that's where we're headed next. When you think about bone health, chances are the first word that comes to mind is calcium. For decades, calcium has been marketed as the key to preventing fractures and osteoporosis in seniors. And while calcium is important, here's the truth. Too few people here without magnesium. Calcium cannot do its job. Magnesium is the unsung partner in bone strength, quietly ensuring that calcium gets into your bones where it belongs instead of clogging your arteries or settling into soft tissues. Mainstream medical advice emphasizes calcium and vitamin D supplements for seniors. Yet many older adults who follow this advice still suffer fractures, brittle bones, or even kidney stones. Why? Because calcium without magnesium is like pouring concrete without a frame. It doesn't set properly and often ends up in the wrong places. Magnesium activates vitamin D, regulates calcium transport, and stimulates calcitonin, the hormone that helps lock calcium into bones. Without magnesium, all that calcium may actually backfire, leaving bones fragile while blood vessels harden. I think of Mrs. Thompson, age 69, who came to me after fracturing her wrist in what she described as a silly little fall. She was diligent about taking calcium supplements every day, yet her bone density scan showed worsening osteoporosis. Her lab work revealed critically low magnesium. Once we adjusted her plan to include magnesium-rich foods, leafy greens, beans, and seeds, and a carefully balanced supplement, her follow-up scans showed her bones stabilizing. She smiled through tears and told me, "I thought I was doing everything right, but I was missing the piece that held it all together." The lesser-known truth is that nearly 60% of the body's magnesium resides in the bones. When dietary intake is low, the body pulls magnesium from bone storage to keep blood levels steady. Over time, this quiet borrowing leaves the bone matrix weak and brittle, even if you're taking calcium. It's a hidden drain robbing the skeleton silently, year after year. Think of it this way. Calcium is the brick, but magnesium is the mortar. Without mortar, the wall collapses under the slightest pressure. That's why seniors who ignore magnesium may find themselves with fractures from minor slips or even everyday movements. So if you've been focused on calcium alone, it's time to rethink your strategy. Because just as magnesium holds your bones together, it also plays a surprising role in calming your mind, easing stress, and even helping you sleep. And that's the next chapter of this story: stress. It's something we often think of as mental, but the truth is, stress leaves a powerful mark on the body, and one of its first casualties is magnesium. When you feel anxious, when you can't fall asleep, when worries keep your mind racing at night, your adrenal glands pump out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones trigger the kidneys to flush magnesium out faster. The more stressed you are, the more magnesium you lose. And the less magnesium you have, the harder it is for your body to calm down, a vicious cycle that traps many seniors in exhaustion and sleepless nights. Mainstream medicine acknowledges that sleep problems and anxiety increase with age, but too often the solutions focus on pills or sedatives. What's rarely explained is that magnesium itself is a natural relaxant. It helps regulate the neurotransmitters that quiet your brain at night and balance the nervous system during the day. Without enough magnesium, your muscles stay tense, your heart rate remains elevated, and your brain struggles to shift into restful sleep. I remember Mr. O'Connor, age 71, who came to me with the complaint, "Doctor, I'm so tired. But the moment I lie down, my mind won't stop running. I wake up 3-4 times a night." He had tried sleeping pills, but they left him groggy the next day. When we tested his levels, his magnesium was significantly low. I recommended more magnesium-rich foods, like pumpkin seeds in his evening snack, and steamed spinach at dinner, along with a supplement timed for bedtime. Weeks later, he told me, "For the first time in years, I actually sleep through the night. I feel like my body has finally exhaled." The lesser-known fact is that magnesium helps regulate GABA, a calming neurotransmitter that dampens overactive brain signals. Without it, your nervous system stays stuck in fight or flight. That's why seniors with low magnesium often describe feeling on edge for no clear reason or waking up restless despite being exhausted. Think of how this plays out. Lack of sleep makes you more fatigued during the day, which weakens your muscles, slows your reflexes, and raises your risk of falls. Anxiety drains your confidence, making you avoid social activities or exercise. Each layer strips away at your independence, all because a simple mineral quietly slipped too low. So if your nights are restless or your stress feels heavier than it should, magnesium may be the missing answer. And the best part, nature already provides the solution in foods many seniors overlook. And those overlooked foods are exactly what we'll reveal next. By now, you understand how critical magnesium is for your muscles, bones, heart, and even your peace of mind. But here's the surprising truth. Many of the richest magnesium sources are simple, everyday foods, yet they're often overlooked in senior diets. Instead of relying on supplements alone, these foods can quietly rebuild your reserves and restore your strength if you make them part of your daily routine. Let's start with pumpkin seeds. Just a small handful contains nearly half of your daily magnesium needs. They're easy to sprinkle on oatmeal, add to salads, or enjoy as a snack. Yet many seniors never think of them as anything more than bird food. Spinach and Swiss chard are next. These leafy greens deliver magnesium, along with vitamin K and fiber, supporting both muscles and digestion. Then there are legumes, beans, lentils, and chickpeas, which not only supply magnesium, but also stabilize blood sugar, making them doubly important for seniors at risk of diabetes. Nuts like almonds and cashews are another powerhouse. They provide magnesium-healthy fats, and protein, a trio that supports both muscle recovery and heart health. And let's not forget whole grains. Switching from white bread or white rice to whole grain versions instantly boosts your magnesium intake, while also delivering more fiber for digestive health. Even dark chocolate, when chosen with a high cocoa content and low sugar, can be a surprisingly rich source of magnesium, a sweet indulgence that also strengthens your body. I think of Mrs. Lee, age 66, who came to me convinced she needed expensive supplements to feel stronger. Her diet was heavy on toast, instant noodles, and tea biscuits, but light on whole foods. When we gradually added pumpkin seeds, spinach, and beans into her meals, she noticed a difference within weeks. "Doctor," she told me, "I feel like my legs actually listen to me again. I didn't think food could change me this fast." The mainstream fact is clear: seniors need more nutrient-dense food choices because appetite and portion sizes often shrink with age. The lesser-known truth is that food sources of magnesium are often more bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and uses them better than many supplement forms. By consistently adding these foods, you're not just filling a deficiency, you're building a foundation for resilience. So take a look at your pantry. Are you filling it with processed, empty calories? Or are you stocking it with these quiet powerhouses that can keep your muscles and heart strong? Because while food can restore your strength, the bigger picture is about taking back control of your health. That's where we'll go next as we close this journey with a plan to protect yourself for the long run. We've traveled a long road together through the hidden dangers of magnesium deficiency, from collapsing muscles to restless nights to racing hearts. And the message is clear. Aging changes how your body uses nutrients, and magnesium is one you cannot afford to ignore. But here's the good news: you have more control than you think. By making simple, deliberate choices each day, you can rebuild your strength, protect your independence, and live with confidence. Let's recap. Magnesium is not just about preventing cramps. It fuels your muscles, steadies your heartbeat, balances your blood sugar, calms your nerves, and locks calcium into your bones. When it runs low, every one of those systems begins to wobble. That's why ignoring it is so dangerous. The decline is not sudden, but slow and relentless. One day, you feel a tremor; the next, you stumble on the stairs, and eventually, you're facing fractures, fatigue, or worse. But by recognizing the signs early, you can intervene before the damage steals your quality of life. The first step is awareness. If you've noticed cramps, palpitations, unsteady legs, or restless sleep, don't brush them off. Ask your doctor to check your magnesium levels. And more importantly, look at your diet honestly. Are you relying on processed meals? Are you skipping leafy greens, beans, or seeds? These are the quiet culprits that create deficiencies over time. The second step is replenishment. Here are safe, senior-friendly foods you can lean on. Pumpkin seeds, rich, convenient, and perfect as a daily snack. Spinach and leafy greens, versatile and loaded with magnesium and other minerals. Beans and lentils, affordable and supportive for both muscles and blood sugar. Almonds and cashews, nutrient-dense with healthy fats and protein. Avocados and bananas, not only magnesium-rich but also gentle on digestion. Dark chocolate, 70% or higher, a small indulgence that doubles as medicine. And here are simple rules to maximize their benefit. Eat magnesium-rich foods earlier in the day to support steady energy. Pair them with protein or healthy fats to improve absorption. Avoid relying on low-sodium or highly processed foods that strip away minerals. If you take supplements, always start small and consult your doctor to avoid imbalances. Remember, knowledge is power. Seniors often feel like their health is slipping beyond their control, but minerals like magnesium prove otherwise. By adjusting what you put on your plate, you directly shape how strong, steady, and confident you feel tomorrow. I want you to hold on to this truth: you are not powerless against aging. Your body is still responsive, still capable of rebuilding strength and stability when given the right tools. Magnesium may be invisible, but its impact is profound. So as we close, I encourage you to take action. Look at your meals today. Make one small change. Add a handful of seeds, swap white bread for whole grain, or steam a bowl of spinach with dinner. These tiny steps add up to a shield of resilience for your muscles, bones, heart, and mind. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue bringing you tips to protect your health and independence. Stay strong, stay aware, and remember, the power to protect your future is in your hands today.